Good afternoon, good afternoon, good afternoon. Have we had a week or have we had a week? First and foremost, let us acknowledge Dr. Ali Yassin for 8 years here at this conference. Come on, y'all. Ali is a truly incredible brother. I met Ali about 5 years ago. We had a mutual client together. And we talked a few times on the phone. I might have heard the program maybe 4 or 5 times. And then we lost contact. About a year ago, Greenlight did one of its many Life Revisited tours, conferences, and roadshows at the Alexander's estate. How many of you, by show of hands, know Dr. Florence and Dr. Stanley Alexander? Incredible people, right? For those of you who don't know the Alexander, well, Florence is like my big sister. She is my big sister. I call her on the phone, hey sis, how we doing, what you need? And her wonderful husband, Stanley, built almost a $500 million government contracts business. They are both in their 70s and 80s. They look fantastic. And so was at the Dr. Alexander's home. I don't think you call it 32,000 square foot edifice a home, right? But that's what it is, on 12 wonderful manicured acres of land. And so Brother Ali was there, and in true form, Brother Ali had this brilliant white suit on. And so everybody was talking about the brother in the white suit. You know, some wondered whether it was an angel, you know, that had dematerialized out of his dimension. I said, I know that's Dr. Ali Yassin. And I sent someone over, and then I came over, and that's how all of this has been possible. And we just get started, y'all. We just get started. Because we're gonna grow even closer to the Billionaire Mastermind Forum. So today I'm going to do something a little different. You know, I do keynotes, I do power talks now. That was a little difficult format for me because I have so much to say. So getting it into 17 and a half, and my clients are laughing at me. Getting it into 17 and a half, I'm always going over on coaching sessions, right? I usually think my clients would want to go over. We got 15 more minutes? Yeah, 15 more minutes. I promise we got a hard stop at 1:15. Right? I'm always doing that. I'm very passionate about this. This is my ministry. This is my passion. And I can't think of anything else I'd rather do waking up in the morning than doing this. You know, I'm there for my clients to the point that they don't even realize. I want above all for them to win. One thing you might not know, it's a rule, it's a law, it's a truth, that winning and losing are habit forming. So family, always be winning. Because if you don't, you're gonna get used to losing, okay? If you're not always focusing on winning and getting a habit of winning, you will get used to losing. Another thing I want you to understand and acknowledge, money doesn't follow you. How many people think money follows them? Money's waiting for you. You holding up your money. Money is waiting for you, it doesn't follow you. So, as Dr. Roberts, again, big hands are for Dr. Michael D. Roberts and Dr. George Frazier. Those men are my heroes, all right, I tell you. I'll tell you a little story about Dr. Frazier and how you see me up on this podium at this event at this time. And I think it's going to be a very inspiring story. I got a lot of stories because I've had a very interesting life so far in 55 years. But it's just getting started. It's just getting started. So I want to share with you first and foremost what I call the T-Money rules. So I go by a lot of names: Terrence, Dr. Cash, Mr. Cash. But for over 30 years, going back to people who've known me for 30 or 40 years, my nickname, which I used to hate, by the way, for a while, has been T-Money. T-Money. Okay? And so I'm gonna share with you, can I share with you the T-Money rules? Yeah. Okay. Now, I know Warren Buffett has some rules, and Bill Gates has some rules, and Oprah has some rules. But these are the T-Money rules. So there's 3 rules. It's very simple, 3 rules. Rule number 1, always be making money. Rule number 1, always be making money. Say always be making money. Rule number 2, all important rule number 2, never lose money. So say never lose money. So that's rule number 2. And rule number 3, if you forget the first 2, you better stick to the third one. Always follow rules 1 and 2. And that's really the secret to creating wealth from a very high level. You always have to be making money in it, and as you've heard from my power talks, we know that wealth creation has little to nothing to do with what money you create and what money you have. It's a mindset. But you also, when you're playing the game, don't you have to keep score? Right? How do you know you won if you don't have some kind of measurement system? How many sports fans in the room? Okay, we got a few. Well, and if you're not a sports fan, how many people know when they have a lot of money in the bank and when they don't have a lot of money in the bank? Right? You better be looking at your bank accounts, and that's determined by one simple criteria: the size of it, right? If you got $800,000 in the bank, that's usually considered that you're doing a lot better than if you got $5,000 in the bank or $5 in the bank, right? So that's how you keep score. So the money is only about keeping score. It's not the central thing. It's all about your mindset, perspective, and relationship with money. That's what's the big thing. Let me tell you a little bit about how I met George Frazier, because before I launch into my talk, it's gonna be more like a fireside chat. I'm gonna jump around a few anecdotes and a few wealth secrets and keys and things I've gotten from the wealthy over the years. But I want you to know that your destiny, especially your destiny in abundance, is already set for you. You just have to accept it. You have to accept it. And that's going to get into my central point of the day. But first and foremost, let me tell you how I met George Frazier. So 25 years ago, I was on a cruise. I think it was with National Professional Network, NPN. And there was George Frazier and Les Brown and Gladys Knight, Michael Collier was there, and others. I was on that cruise. Now back then, guys, this is the secret. I wasn't the swashbuckling business, money, and wealth coach and chairman and founder of Greenlight. I had just started my little fledgling computer business not too long before that. It was failing, it was languishing. All my retirement funds had been put into it, which was only about $44,000. And 6 months later, I was out of money and I had bills and arrears. Because if you don't know any better, you can't do any better. So it's all about knowledge and wisdom. Notice I don't use the word information, much of it all. So I went to this cruise, and I met George, and maybe I spent 10 minutes with George. And he was just encouraging me and telling me, look, it's gonna get better. And he didn't tell me it was gonna get worse before it got better, but I won't hold it against him. So anyway, he was telling me these things, and then we lost contact for 25 years, okay? And then your leader, your head, Dr. Ali Hassin, told me about PNC. I said, oh, that's a bank. I have many of my clients go to that bank. He said, no, Power Networking Conference. What's what's a power networking conference? Well, it's the number one, preeminent, ultimate, top drawer, world class empowerment event for people who are black, brown, and beige. Oh, I said, I want to go. Because anybody who knows anything about me, I have a mission for people who are black, brown, and beige. See, I take all the shades. So this way, it doesn't matter if you're light, bright, and almost white, or you dark as charcoal. We got you covered. And you got a kangaroo jump over me and the green light team. That's a lot of people in 2 states. So I don't think that's gonna happen. To not get our aid or help, whether you're a client or not. It's just part of our mission. So 25 years later, Ali gets me back on the phone with George. And we greet each other and I said, George, I met you 25 years ago. And while it's humanly possible to remember me, there was 3,000 people on that boat. And as you know, just like today, they're all pulling at him. So it's almost impossible he remembered me in a meaningful way. But because of Brother Ali, he took that phone call. And nobody knows this story, but my team, nobody. To show you who George Frazier is. I mean, really is. I have a lot of celebrities that are clients, and pro athletes, and the wealthy elite as clients. But I can tell you, their personal persona is a lot different than their professional persona. When you meet them in public, they're very cordial, they're very nice, because you are paying their bills. You're putting these kids through the best schools on the planet, and you are funding their lifestyle. But when you meet them in their private persona, they raise all types of hell. So Brother Frazier got on that phone. He said, look, I'm getting ready to go to Egypt, and I'm sure a few of you might have went on a trip for 10 days. So, it's late. This is 4 months ago, guys. Guys, this is 4 months ago. Dr. Terrence Cash wasn't on that card at PNC. 4 months ago. He said, Dr. Cash, there's a waiting list of 200 people. Waiting list of 200 people. He said, but let's talk when I get back. So, do the 10 days. I give him a few days, because you know how it is when you just come back for a long trip. And he comes back, and me and Ali, I always wanted Ali on that phone call. That's like my lifeline. I would take a lifeline, Brother Ali. I'd have been beside myself if I was on that phone call by myself. So we get back on the phone call, and he tells us about Egypt. He spends about 40 minutes talking about Egypt. I saw myself there. No place on earth. When I was in Spain, I didn't see myself in Spain. When I was in the UK, I didn't see myself in the UK, and one goes on. But in Egypt, I saw myself. And with a great story. And so after 40 minutes, I said, well, George, Dr. Frazier, before you left, we were talking about, getting me a spot on the main stage at PNC, And you said you'd think about it and go away and come back. He said, well, I had a lot of time on planes, Terrence, and I thought about it, and there is none. There is no room. There's not 10 minutes, Terrence, 5 minutes, 1 minute, 30 seconds. There is nothing. He can tell you. And so me and him, whatever wasn't shaking on this phone call began to shake. And I'm talking about knees, limbs, earlobes, everything was shaking. Because he said maybe next year. That's what he said. He said maybe next year. But me and Brother Ali had a different reality. Against all rational thinking or facts, there is no next year.
That's right.
Remember what I said about belief system?
Yeah.
What you believe, why you believe it, and what you're prepared to do about what you believe will have God conspire with the universe to bring it to your front door.
That's right. Let's give that a hand.
So no time. And then George goes into, and rightly so, the protocols. Well, wait a minute. You called me directly, and I only took the call because of this brother. Because of my respect for him, I took the call. And I'm sure you're good, Terrence, and all that. Hadn't seen me speak. By the way, George probably didn't actually see me speak. When I say actually, not live, but my YouTube channel or something like that, to probably about maybe a month ago, right? Look at the chances that man took. I'd have got on that stage and started buck dancing, talking about, okay, let's put up the price list of all the things we got to sell. Which is a no-no. It has to be evergreen. It has to be educational, inspirational. That's how we do it anyway. But he didn't know that. He didn't know that. There's no way he could have known that. So anyway, we get on this call, and he said, there's no room, there's no time, next year maybe. He said, come on, I got Les Brown. That stage we could consider the main stage is sacred. I got Les Brown. You know Les Brown, of course. Last year we had Billionaire Priceline owner Jeff Hoffman, who sold out on the auction some crazy number in like 5-6 minutes, something like that. And we have this one and that one. These talents, they're the baddest brothers on the planet. I listened very intently and I said, well, George, I totally understand. I know many of those names, but I am the baddest brother. And those of you who know me know I don't have a one bone in my body is arrogant pride of it. Because remember what I told you if you were at my talk or in the workshop. Arrogance, pride, and ego are luxuries. You actually pay a premium for them, right? They will discourage you from doing the things you should be doing with your money and encourage you to do things you shouldn't be doing with your money. So avoid them like the plague. So notice I didn't get into any morality thing. They're not good for your money game. So when I said, I am the baddest brother on the planet as it relates to business, money, and wealth, Ali will tell you the whole energy in that conversation shifted. Talk about beliefs, now you're looking at beliefs, right? Because I absolutely believe that. And you know what? Tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of people around the country kind of agree with me, right? I don't think you'd be here listening to someone that's not going to inspire you, motivate you, and get you to the next level in the time I have. So I said that, and the whole conversation shifted. So now, Brother Frazier starts talking to Brother Ali. Well, Ali, it's 4 months before the event. Ali, I got a full card that's been in place for a year. Because remember, you got last year's speakers that want to speak next year, so they booked their thing right away. And you got speakers that have been vetted, reviewed, scrutinized, researched over the 8 months, and then they put them in the program. In the history of PNC, it has never happened that some dude materialized out of some galaxy or dimension 4 months before the event, unknown to George, because he couldn't have remembered me guys 25 years ago, and I wouldn't help that thing. How could he know? So the conversation shifts, and George starts saying, it was like I was invisible in the conversation. Ali and George are talking, so we're on a green light conference bridge, and George is saying, but Ali, it's 4 months before. We got to make, if we're going to do anything, we're going to have to make this decision quick, because the material's got to go out with my name on it, and everything's got to be done. He said, okay, Dr. Cash, you email me. We got to talk tomorrow. So this is Saturday and Sunday talk. We don't do banker's hours. If you're an entrepreneur, if you into creating wealth, you're talking about banker's hours and formalities, you'll never make it. So this is a Saturday afternoon. He said, we're going to talk tomorrow afternoon. And we scheduled the time and said, Dr. Cash, write down the things that you want and need. I'm not telling you you're going to give, I'm not telling you you're going to speak. I'm not telling you you're going to be anything other than an attendee if you buy a ticket. But tell me what you're looking at. Now, I don't know what Brother Ali was thinking, but I've said, this is going to happen. Why? Because I believe it. So next day, And what did I do? I picked from the $200,000 sponsorship packages, things I want. I picked from the $150,000 package. 100,000, 50, 25. I ain't going any lower than that. So I'm picking and choosing. I'm making my own package. So, and that package had everything that your top sponsors had, except for a full-page, full-size ad in the commemorative journal. Now, you know I'm in that journal, but I didn't ask for that. You know I'm in that journal. Go 1/3 from the back and you'll see, my smiling face back there. I didn't ask. That's the only thing I didn't ask for. So we get on this call, and Brother Frazier says, well, Dr. Cash, you saying you want 10 sponsorship badges for my people. You want room at the dais. You want this. And you want 2 power talks. No packaging. No packages. In the history, and you have been going, in the history of PNC, have you ever seen the same person do 2 talks, 2 power talks? I'm not talking about Brother Frazier. This is his event. We want to hear him 2, 3 times as much as possible. In the power talk class of the speeches, have you ever seen? If you said you did, then you were hallucinating, right? It's never happened. In the history of PNC, there's never been one person who's had 2 power talks. Then he goes a little further down the list. He said, Dr. Cash, you're requesting 2 workshops as well. My answer, I like even numbers. I like even numbers. So he goes down the list. He says, wow. He says, Ali, and let's go to your leader for a second. He says, Ali, I have never, Ali, this is our 16th year, like Ali don't know. Ali knows this is a sweet 16th year. He said, yes, Dr. Fisher. He said, Ali, you know that this is our 30th year for Frazier. He said, yes, Brother Frazier, I understand. He said, Ali, I've never done this. Ali, that man put his neck on the line. Because again, if I came up and said, well, this is the comedy hour of Dr. Terrence Cash, I'm going to tell you some jokes, some humorous anecdotes. Look how he would have looked. Who brought this man here? They would have pointed at Ali. Okay? Ali would have took all the blame. And he said, I know, George. He said, but George, you won't be disappointed. Why? Because he believed in me. Talk about belief system. He believed, and I believe, and that's all we needed. We were going to get George's beliefs around. We weren't worried about George because why? It's 2 against 1. It's 2 against 1. We're going to turn George around. Notice we didn't convince George. You can't convince Dr. George Frazier to do anything that's going to hurt this conference. You can't pay Dr. George Frazier to do anything that's going to hurt this conference, because that man walks the walk and talks the talk. Trust me. Because this is behind the scenes. You would never know this story. So George decides to do it. Surprise, surprise. We weren't surprised.
Right.
George decides to do it. And here's the capstone of what I said. I said, now George, because we haven't talked anything about money. I said, I don't care what you call it. There has to be a major sum of money that gets dispersed from my side of the table to yours. Why? To protect his reputation. Remember, he's got his whole FraserNet team. People who are what? Coaches and celebrities and luminaries in their own right. And they said, well, I didn't get 2 power talks. And the man didn't pay. You did all this for what does he have on you, George? Because we think you've been compromised. And that's the last thing I wanted Brother Frazier. Stuck his neck out. Now his own team. That man and this man took huge risks to get me up on this stage and on this stage inside. Huge risk. So George agreed. We settled a number, and that number was in the high 5 figures. Okay? But it was a discount to all the stuff I don't put down that didn't even exist on anybody else's package. So that's going to be the green light package, because nobody got it. JP1 Chase didn't get it. Hewlett-Packard didn't get it, only Greenlight got it. And in the history of the conference, there hasn't been anyone that's had 2 power talks and/or 2 workshops. And I'm sure there was some real scant looks, like looking at the schedule. I see this guy's talking, must be a typo. Ain't a typo. I'll be up there twice. Okay? So, again, I'm going to get into my talk a little bit, but I want to tell you that antidote. Because one, what you believe is what you're going to receive.
That's right.
So here you go, the beginning of this year, there was no Dr. Terrence Cash on the scorecard, on the podium. He wasn't anywhere, he wasn't even in the audience. But we got bought tickets. And a year later, I bring my team of 16 people. Big acknowledgement and shout out to the Greenlight team. For the few that are remaining, another one had to leave, my Florida team had to go back and blah, blah, blah. But the ones who are here, Greenlight team, please stand up. These are the men and the women that help me and make me look good. And trust me, it's a team effort. I have dozens of people behind the scenes that enable me to do what I do. It is not a one-man show. And if it was, then you get the comedy out. Thank you guys. So, what did we learn from that anecdote? What was the takeaway? What was the abject lesson? The abject lesson, besides you, Cooch has got to catch a plane. Thanks, Cooch. God bless you. Safe travels, my brother. You will receive what you believe, and winning and losing are habit forming, so always be winning. I am always interested in winning. I'm not a sore loser, but I don't like losing. My clients know that, and they know that's why I fight for them against their challenges, and I work with them to achieve their opportunities and goals, because I hate losing. I've never in the history, I love basketball, I love sports in general, but in the history of any sport, let's say basketball, I've never seen the team go out on the floor, maybe lose by 20 or 30, and when they're coming back into the locker room, the coach says, I don't know what y'all did, but I won out there. Y'all lost by 30. God bless Paul, my deputy chair. So, what am I talking about? So today, and as Elizabeth Taylor said to her 7th husband, don't worry, I won't keep you long. So today, I'm going to talk about why financial success in life, business, and especially money is always centered around and founded upon what you accept and what you allow. So you got choices. So success, especially financial success, is always a function of the agreement between what you accept and what you allow. And if you don't make the right choices, whether in a conscious manner that you accept it, or in an unconscious or subconscious manner where you just allow something to occur. Some of you may have accepted the wrong notion that you need money to make money. I think Mike talked about it a little bit, right? With that project, with his telecom project. He didn't have the money. He finally got to the point he didn't have the money. Then he got the answer, vendor financing, right? So he would not accept that you needed money to make money. And you know, our good friend and my good friend, Mike B. Roberts, I think he's made a little money in his life, right? So if he had accepted that wrong notion, he wouldn't be sitting here with you, certainly wouldn't be sitting here with you as a billionaire and an industry magnate in communications and real estate. I don't have time to say all the things Mike Roberts has said to. And Mike Roberts and I are great and fast new friends. We're going to be doing a whole bunch of things together. So that's just an example of the difference between what you accept and what you allow. some of you allow the premise that you have to pay the maximum legal tax. Now again, in this country, this wonderful, big, great, beautiful country of ours, you must pay your taxes. Please don't tell your friends or other people, oh, Dr. Cash said I have to pay the taxes. Because you will be misquoting me. You have to pay your taxes, y'all, but you're only required, you're only obligated to pay the minimum. You're only required to pay the minimum legal tax. Unfortunately, many of you are paying the maximum legal tax. And one of the solutions in every solution suite, every coaching solution suite we have, is that you will be paying the minimum legal tax. And often that minimum legal tax is zero. It is absolutely possible, legal, and in your reach to pay the minimum legal tax of zero. Now, if you work at a job, you'll pay the minimum legal tax there, but that might be a 50 to 90% reduction in the taxes you're already paying. Like you're gonna scoff at 50 to 90% reduction in taxes because you didn't get down to zero. If you are an entrepreneur, and I mean full-time entrepreneur, you're gonna be paying a minimum legal tax, but in that situation, your minimum legal tax could possibly, and in all likelihood, be zero. So see the big difference between what you allow and what you accept? You gotta be very careful what you just, accept and what you allow. A lot of people in this room, and we got some giveaways for you, so, I'll kind of get into the giveaway portion by asking some questions. Don't know that there's some people richer than the people you think are rich. Mm-hmm. Some people wealthier than the people you think are wealthy. Now, I'm gonna tell you exactly what it is. This is gonna be an expose, I'm letting it all out. So, I'm gonna ask you, and you can just, offer the name up. You can just tell me the name. I have, what do we got back there, James? We got green light bags. I got copies of my new book. Already a bestseller. Already a bestseller. #1 on Amazon in downloads and like 7 other areas and components. This book was intentionally the first book I put my name to, because this is a compilation effort, meaning there's other authors in this book with me. And they all give, anecdotes and business lessons from their journeys. And I've actually got a few clients into this book. And that's one of the things we do besides the coaching